His Excellency, Mr. Traian Băsescu, President of Romania. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Doamna președinte,
Madam President, esteemed heads of state and government, ladies and gentlemen.
Este o deosebită onoare pentru mine să mă
It
aflu
is a
astăzi
great
la
honor for me
Copenhaga
to be in
contextul
Copenhagen today on the occasion of the negotiations held upon the agreement that will allow us to act together after 2012 with a view to protecting the environment. The way we pursue our legitimate aspirations of economic and social development is no longer an exclusive matter.
Fie că suntem printre cei mai dezvoltați din lume, fie printre cei mai puțin dezvoltați,
the approach of us all from more or less developed countries should consider the development needs of the others and particularly the needs of the following generations. Copenhagen concentrates these days the attention and hope of billions of citizens world over. We have a duty to them. We should not disappoint them, and we should demonstrate them that we have a common understanding of the notions of responsibility and solidarity. Ladies and gentlemen, the circumstances that brought us to the negotiation of the Kyoto Protocol a decade ago seem to be much more serious now. The climate changes and the environmental degradation threaten the security, the social and economic stability of our countries. Their effects are most severely felt by the populations of the less developed countries. Our presence here testifies for our common will to contribute further on in an authentic, true global effort aimed at combating the changes produced by the greenhouse gas emissions and by the responsible actions of humans against the environment. Romania took part in the joint effort of the European Union in this period, a decisive one with a view to ensuring the success of the international negotiations on climate changes. The EU mandate was a catalyst for the international negotiations according to the principle of common but differentiated responsibility. This principle provides that the industrialized countries have to engage firmly in reducing the emissions, and the developing countries have to modify the trajectory of the emissions. Romania's involvement in the fight against global warming is demonstrated by the progress made in the achievement of the Kyoto targets between 1990 and 2007, and by the current level of the greenhouse gas emissions, which is 37 below the level we assumed. We believe that the principles and mechanisms set by the Kyoto Protocol have to be reflected in the post-2012 agreement, and we reiterate to this end the common decision adopted within the EU to support the adoption of the cooperation instrument, which should be based on its essential elements. As a part of the Kyoto inheritance, Romania aims at agreeing upon the AAUs. Thus, the rules for transactioning them should be non-discriminative, and using them should not affect the agreement upon environment.
Considerăm însă că acumularea surplusului de
We
unități
believe that
confirmă
the
faptul că
accumulation
România
of
a
the
depus
AU
eforturi
surplus confirms the
semnificative
fact that
pentru
Romania
reducerea
made
emisiilor
significant
și
efforts
că înțelege să
for
utilizeze
reducing the
unitățile
emissions,
astfel
and that
încât
we
să nu
understand to use
pericliteze
the AU
țintele de
so as
mediu.
to avoid the endangering
În ceea ce
of the
privește
environment
obiectivul
targets.
principal este
As
să
for Romania,
consolidăm decuplarea
our main
creșterii economice
objective is to
de
strengthen
nivelul
the
emisiilor de
disjunction
gaze cu
between
efect
the
de seră.
economic growth and the greenhouse
Acest fapt se
emissions.
poate realiza prin
This
promovarea surselor
can be
alternative
achieved
de
by
energie,
promoting
inclusiv
the
a celor regenerabile,
alternative energy sources,
creșterea
including the
eficienței
renewable ones,
energetice
by
și prin
increasing the
promovarea
energy
tehnologiilor de
efficiency
captare
and by
și stocare
promoting
geologică a
the
carbonului.
geological carbon
De
capture
asemenea,
and
avem în
storage.
vedere promovarea
We also
tehnologiilor
have in
curate în
view
industrie,
promoting the clean
transporturi,
technologies in
agricultură
industry,
și în
transport,
managementul deșeurilor.
agriculture, and
Vom
waste
continua să
management.
utilizăm energia nucleară
We
în
will
scopuri
continue
civile
to use
și
nuclear
vom
energy
continua
in
să
civil
acordăm
purposes, and
importanță
we will continue
valorificării
to pay
energiei
attention
eoliene.
to the use of the wind energy.
Vom continua exploatarea
At the same time, we will continue to use the agricultural potential of our country by establishing a fair balance between the agri-food production and the cultivation of resources for biofuel. Romania has a trump card that we would like to use against the background of the greening of the freight transportation. I'm referring to the drafting of a European strategy of integrated development in the Danube region and to the unification of the navigation rules for Rhine and Danube, with a view to connecting, economically speaking, the Black Sea to the North Sea. Ladies and gentlemen, we agree that the developing countries cannot overcome alone the already important effects of the global warming and cannot engage in the process of reducing the greenhouse gas emissions without a consistent financial support. Against this background, and in spite of the economic difficulties that we are facing in this period of crisis, Romania engaged along with the other EU member states to support financially the developing countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in a moment when, due to the efforts of all those involved, we've reached an agreement and we've proved to the world, through the engagements assumed, that we have vision, that we have decision power, and that we can act together to the interest of us all. The decision that we are called to take, although a very difficult one, as we were able to see during the negotiations, is a vital decision for the present and particularly for the future of our planet. The challenge that we are facing, which I'm convinced we will be able to overcome, is that in less than 1 year, the Copenhagen consensus has to be reflected in a concrete juridical agreement. Only this way we will be able to prove that we are responsible for our generation and particularly for the future generations. We are convinced that implementing in each state the measures that provide the decrease of the carbon emissions will represent not only a risk management instrument, but also an engine for sustainable economic increase. Romania is prepared to take part in the effort of transforming what now seems a challenge into an opportunity, an option. Thank you.